After becoming a YouTube sensation and creating his content empire and brand, Jeffree Star went on to found his very own cosmetics line called Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and it is reported that Jeffree Star Cosmetics is currently valued at an estimated $1.5 billion. Jeffree Star has revealed he's had relationships with NBA players, but who are they? Let's dive into this and more. When Star revealed that he had relationships with NBA players and rappers, his followers had their minds blown and were absolutely dying to know who they were. So who are they? Star has said publicly that many NBA players and rappers reach out to me, yes, but I have a code where I never get out of them, and many of them threaten to murder me if I ever say their names. So sex is amazing, but the names are invisible. There's only two people that we know of for certain that Star has dated, and that's Nathan Schwandt and pro basketballer Andre Marhold, who plays for a pro team in Germany. Understandably, the threats of death from those who Star has been with have kept the YouTube and cosmetic celebrity quiet about who he's involved with. Star dated Schwandt for nearly 5 years and truly thought that they would be together forever. Star has opened up, saying Schwandt was the only man who was confident enough to love me publicly, to love me for me fully. Star initially claimed that despite their breakup, the two remained close friends. However, the relationship has reportedly soured. In a YouTube video, Star spoke to his millions of fans and said, "When you do so much for someone and then later they do something really effing dark to you, or they just get really nasty, you gotta wonder, who was that person?" Star even bought Schwandt an Aston Martin, which he eventually took back. Andre Marhold and Star met on Instagram, and their relationship started when Marhold began liking several of Star's photos. From there, Marhold and Star began exchanging direct messages. According to Marhold, his relationship with Star floundered because of Star's controlling ways, which he believed stemmed from Star having been cheated on by Schwandt. And the rest, as they say, is history. Many Jeffree Star fans have asked, how does Jeffree spend his money? So let's find out. If there's one thing that people love, it's a bona fide rags to riches story. And that is exactly what happened to this self-made makeup icon. Believe it or not, roughly 10 years ago, Jeffree Star was flat broke and barely scraping by. Today, Star has enough cash to fill a mid-sized swimming pool. At the time of this recording, Star is one of the richest YouTube celebs on the planet. And what does somebody with that much cash do? Well, purchase a fleet of high-end cars for starters. Star is the proud owner of a lavish car collection that's so opulent, it would make a Saudi prince jealous. Star owns a McLaren, a few Bentleys, a Tesla, BMW, Audi, Lamborghini, a Rolls-Royce, and a Mercedes G-Wagon. Oh, and a recently repoed Aston Martin from a cheating ex. Star also has full-body tattoos, which came at a very hefty price tag. Another thing Star is known for is spending lavishly on high-end jewelry from the likes of Cartier, Louis Vuitton, Versace, and Gucci. And when it comes to travel, Star travels in style and never flies commercial. He's always on a private jet, whether it's for business or pleasure. Don't go away because we've got more Jeffree Star info coming right up, and we're serving it up hot. So what are the other business ventures that J-Star has been involved in? Let's have a look. Star has his hands in so many ventures that it's honestly hard to keep them straight. So let's go back to when it all began in the early 2000s. Star first began to amass his legions of fans and followers in the MySpace blogosphere and started to become somewhat of a figurehead in the LGBTQIA+ community. And in 2007, the True Colors Tour announced that Star would be part of the music festival's summer lineup. The True Colors Tour Music Fest was sponsored by the LGBT Logo channel. 2009 was a busy year for Star. He released his debut studio album titled Beauty Killer and even released a hit single called Lollipop Luxury, a provocative and sexually explicit song featuring none other than the bad girl of pop and hip-hop herself, Nicki Minaj. A year later in 2010, Star signed with Convict Music, a record label owned by famed rapper Akon. However, 3 years later in 2013, after a little soul-searching, Star decided to leave the music industry altogether and pursue other avenues. Looking back, it would prove to be one of the best decisions Star ever made. He went back to doing what he loved most, creating YouTube content, and by 2014 had launched Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Today, Star's YouTube channel has over 17 million subscribers, with well over 2 billion views, and the numbers are still climbing. Star has also caught the real estate bug and routinely invests invests in properties across the United States and reportedly in other parts of the world as well. Star's most impressive real estate investment came in December of 2019 when he purchased a jaw-dropping $14.6 million home in California's Hidden Hills neighborhood, which sits on 3 acres of property and comes complete with 8 bedrooms and 13 bathrooms. Lately, J-Star has even started to invest in the lucrative and still booming marijuana industry. Next up, has Jeffree Star had beef with other celebrities? You bet he has. So if you're looking for all of the dirt, you've come to the right place. Let's have a look. The first real public feud for Star erupted between him and tattooed beauty Kat Von D. This feud has been ongoing for nearly a decade, and like a bad case of sciatica, can flare up at any time. On Instagram, Kat responded to a commenter on Instagram and said, "Jeffree who?" Star's response to Kat's comment was swift, and he didn't hold back. He reminded Kat that his Jeffree Star brand liquid lipstick was being sold on Kat's own website, and that she was therefore making money off of his brand and name. Jeffree has also had a considerable amount of beef with some of the Kardashians, Kim and Kylie Jenner. When Kim's KKW beauty line announced that they were releasing powdered contour kits, Kim posted some photos of the new product line, and Jeffree took to Twitter to offer his opinion about the new product line. Jeffree said, Kim, what is going on with those new swatches? They look like chalk." And if you know Jeffree, then you know he loves to publicly call out shabby, overpriced cosmetics products, and this includes Kylie Cosmetics in particular. In one instance, Jeffree took to social media and angrily called out Kylie for what he perceived as a wildly overpriced makeup brush set valued at $360, and further called Kylie out for what he perceived as an attempt to steal his product packaging. Star said, "I gotta know one thing. With all that effing money she's made, why did @Kylie Cosmetics use the same packaging as my liquid lipsticks that have been out since 2014? Invest and make something different maybe?" A short while later, in a separate tweet, Star said, "Are the new @Kylie Cosmetics makeup brushes made out of animal hair? Is that why they're so expensive? B, I'm still dumbfounded." And finally, does Jeffree Star have any philanthropic endeavors? You bet he does. When the COVID-19 pandemic first hit in March of 2020, Jeffree Star decided to give one of his fans $30,000 because the fan was dealing with some serious financial difficulties related to the pandemic. And throughout the pandemic, Star has continued to give generously to his followers and said, "Drop me your Cash App, and I'm gonna help as many people as my limit will allow today. Use hashtag Jeffree Star approved so I can see you. Today I'm just gonna reply to people I'm helping and not share anyone's struggles. Love you, Star family." Every few weeks throughout the pandemic, Star has continued to give generously. In December of 2020, Star even donated $25,000 to a local winter toy drive. And when Star purchased his $1.1 million mansion in the small town of Casper, Wyoming, he did everything possible to give back to the local community, who initially were unsure of what to make of his presence there. Star has used his fame to feature local craftsmen and artists, and routinely supports local businesses and restaurants. Star even went out of his way to purchase several yaks for a local ranch farm known as the Star Yak Ranch. Star recently purchased a yak farm of his own, which is not open to the public, and built a distribution center in Wyoming that sells his marijuana-themed clothing and other marijuana-related accessories. So while he may seem brash and even rude at times, there's no denying the fact that the real Jeffrey Lynn Steininger Jr. has a kind heart. Thank you for listening and watching. Please click like and subscribe to our channel. More exciting and informative videos are on the way.